Peace, family. Thank you for tuning in again. My name is Laura Divine, and I go by Divine Intuition here on YouTube. Today, I wanted to speak about a wonderful experience I had with my inner child this week. And it impacted me so much so that I had to express the impact of not just on myself, but the impact I had in my surrounding environment. And that's the reason what inspired me to make this video. So I did name this video Let Your Inner Child Be Free. And I'm going to briefly speak on it real quick. I am utilizing the energy of what you can see as a background of children playing. This is something AI generated for me. And it's how I kind of feel like my inner child just wants to roam through green, like beautiful grass and thriving plants and trees and playground, but everyone is just in the open. And that's how I felt. So this Monday, this previous Monday, I had just sat with myself and I listened to my inner child. I'm just going to start some background music real quick. But my inner child was definitely speaking to me so much so that, and this wasn't just Monday, this was before Monday. And so I started tapping into what my inner child loves, what we used to do when I was younger, what were the things that I used to gravitate to. And, you know, your higher self works with you and it will whisper in a way, very soft whispers of what it is that you should be connecting to or what you do connect to, right? And so as I'm sitting here pondering, what is it that my inner child used to love doing? What did we love doing, right? I thought of it and I was like, oh my gosh, I used to love swinging on the swings, like that was my thing. And I think a lot of us, we tend to forget that we have a child that just wants to play and have fun and just be, right? Without worries, without stress, without thinking of what's my next task? What do I have to do today? Oh, what bills are due? Like, children don't think that way, right? And in a world that's really driven, where we have to go ahead and we have to be on the go, it's a little challenging for some of us to tap into this energy. Now, I sat with myself and I started realizing there's quite a few things that I literally can tap into as far as my inner child, but she was specifically asking to go to the park, just to go to the park. It's just being on the swings, right? And so I finally did that. And I just sat with myself and I was just swinging. And as soon as I started swinging, there was a song that my inner child we started humming, right? And when I say we, I mean myself and my inner child. However, I know that this is my inner child because of the song that we were singing. And this song that I was humming to, I could hear myself just starting to hum it. And I'm like, oh, I know that song. And it took me to an old Disney movie. And I absolutely loved this Disney movie, right? For many of you, if you're not familiar, it took me back to a movie called Anastasia. And Anastasia, we're not going to get too much in the movie, but basically, Anastasia is a princess of royalty, but she doesn't remember where she comes from. And there is a specific song that she sings, and I was humming that song, and it really talks about remembering who I was, remembering, the warm embrace, and it was amazing. And I started hearing that song play in my mind as I'm swinging on the swing. And I was like, wow, this couldn't have been any more of a perfect song, but more of a perfect example of how your inner child speaks to you, how your inner child literally expressed to you the gratitude just for taking time out, right? And I'm singing this song to myself. I'm trying to keep, I'm to myself. I'm just in my own energy. And I replayed this song over and over. And I started feeling emotional. Like, I was like, wow. And I thanked my inner child for giving me that message because that meant a lot to me. For me to hear that message come through was a beautiful recognition of each other, right? I recognized my needs within myself, of my inner child, and my inner child recognized to give me a message right back and thanking me. And we started just kind of remembering, like, what were the things we used to do when we were at the park, right? And as I'm focusing on one of the things that I wanted to do, it's like this moving, it's like a moving monkey bar. I can't really explain it, but like you hold on to it and then you move yourself. Like it rolls from one platform to the other, and you just hold on, and then it rolls down. So as I was thinking of doing that, and this is how, when you're in this inner child energy, how it actually literally will start to influence others. I'm not even playing. So as I'm focusing on this moving monkey bar part of the playground, I'm hearing my inner child say, we should do that. We used to do that. And I focus on it as I'm still on the swing. And there is someone who actually does it right in front of me as I'm thinking about it. And he is an adult. And he's there with his significant other and their child, right? And I was like, wow, that really just happened in front of me. And then I end up seeing a child who does something else that I was thinking of doing. And I thought, what are some of the things that I do, right? Besides doing the monkey bars. And I used to actually and I'm sure quite a few of us can relate, I used to go ahead and in park, we have like a border. And so I used to walk the border. And there's a few kids that are coming through, and they look like they're from like a nursery or something like that. And it's quite a few kids. And one of the little boys, he does just that. As I was thinking it, I was like, wow, I should do that, right? Yeah, we should do that. And the little boy does it. And so I feel like I'm experiencing the things that I want to do as my inner child is displaying these interests of doing things. through observation of others. And it's almost like I'm projecting what it is that we want to do. Again, I'm speaking from my inner child and I, right? What we want to do, but it's almost like it's manifesting outside. And so I'm literally experiencing these experiences through the lens of myself, but through my inner child. And it's interesting because I feel like I almost made that happen. I know right away, right, when like there's influence involved in people's choices. And I feel like my inner child is so strong that it influenced others to bring that out of them. And one of the greatest things that I realized was when you're in your inner child holds so much power that it attracts others to you. And as I'm swinging on this swing and I'm just singing my Disney song, which it's a song that my inner child is sending me a message about. So I'm singing this song, and there's a lady and her significant other and their child. And the lady comes and she swings right next to me. And we start talking. And I honestly feel like I attracted this person to me because of the simple fact that your inner child attracts those who have not lost their focus or touch with their inner child. And that's what I realized, right? I feel like I've attracted people to me, but not in the sense of an inner child attraction. And it was a beautiful culmination of just energies that I saw. And I was like, wow, you don't realize how magnetic our inner child is, right? But it's very powerful in the sense that when you tap into your inner child, you release all inhibitions. Anything is possible. I was even feeling why I love the swing so much. And it's because I feel like I can fly. I feel like I'm soaring. I feel like I'm flying over a fence. Like literally, there's always like a gate. But I feel like I'm soaring over things. And the more that I rock back and forward, the more forward I go, I know that I'm only gonna rock back higher. And so it's this potential of seeing how high you can go. And it's in a way like in a child's mindset, flying, soaring the sky, but still having that safeguard, right? But feeling safe enough that you're still being able to fly. And these are just the things that I was picking up as I was singing and just enjoying that time with myself. And I started doing things that I haven't done before. I started twisting the swing. And so like I used to twist the swing all the way around and then let it twist back, and it would just like fast, come back to the starting position, but it would twist so fast that it would twist the other way around. Like I'm doing things that I just naturally felt like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let this happen, we're just gonna stay in this energy. And you don't understand the amount of energy that I got afterward. The amount of energy that I got from my inner child was like a boost of energy. Um, I was so lighthearted. No, it like nothing was stopping me. I felt like I was again like flying. And when we think of children, and if we ask them certain questions and we ask them certain questions and how they respond is completely different to how you ask the same question in an adult and their response is very adult like, right? And I think one of my powers that I always said that I wanted to have was light. And I think that really stands out, right? Because if I could fly anywhere, I could, like, it's almost like ultimate freedom, right? And so even thinking about like some of the superpowers, like some of the things that we would say is, oh, if you were a superhero, what powers would you have? And mine's always end up with flight with others, other things. But flight really comes into play because it's this overall feeling of being lighthearted, right? When I think of flight, I also think of, like, in a sense, Peter Pan. It actually goes all the way back to Hook, like that movie. I absolutely love this movie with Robin Williams, Hook. And Hook, Robin Williams plays Peter Pan. But he forgets that he's Peter Pan, right? Because he's grown up. But he only forgets he's Peter Pan because he forgets, like, he is too in the logical sense, right? Where he doesn't resonate with his creative side or his imagination. He doesn't see that being a grown up because he has a family and everything. But the way for him to be able to fly was he had to think happy thoughts, right? And I always think about why that's so significant. And it's not just that, it's the fact that our inner child is all about imagination, it's all about creation, it's all about like what makes us happy. That's what really our inner child is looking for, what makes us happy. And so I just wanted to go ahead and, express the fact that we're all working to pay bills. We're all working to, keep up with certain things. We're all working to support families and support ourselves, right? But what makes you happy? That's one thing that you have to bring within. Figure that out within and go for it. Whether it be like doing puzzles. Puzzles for some people make them happy. Building cars, these little, model cars. That might make somebody happy. Going to a park and just sitting with yourself, whether you look like the biggest kid or not. It's not about what you look like, it's about how you feel inside. I didn't care. Like, I didn't care how people viewed me. And, the lady asked, oh, are you here alone? And I said, I'm here with my inner child. And we're here together and we're enjoying the swing. And I love the swings. So much so that I always gravitated to them. And I started to realize why that is. And it's because of light. Some of us, we even might be tapping into what used to be our powers back when we were in a different lifetime, in a different time space, right? Maybe in our past, we did have flight. Some of us, we did pull things to us. Some of us, we could see through walls. Some of us, we were invisible, But I feel like when we start to forget that side of us, we forget what really makes us happy. So I implore you to go and find what makes you happy. Spend time with that. you know, listen to the voice, that inner child voice that is really just waiting to be acknowledged, just waiting to be heard. A lot of children are not heard. I understand that quite a few of us, when we were children, we weren't heard. We were pushed aside. Don't let that be you. Don't push aside your inner child, because I guarantee you your inner child will thank you beyond measure. And you'll have such a different outlook in how you see things, how you feel. And it's only growth from there. So I will go ahead and thank everyone for tuning in. I am going to attach some videos you can find on my channel. Everyone have a good day. Peace and blessings to everyone. This is Aurora Divine. I'm tuning out. Take care, everyone.